Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. Previously, we took control of Phoenix, and it was great. It was so good to reconnect with him, and Maya too. So, even though Phoenix doesn't know a single thing about what's really going on here, he's still defending Isabella in court, but something's very wrong. Isabella... something happened to her. Her emotions and thoughts have been stripped from her. Probably due to something Darklaw did, who, let's be honest, is probably the witch. Isabella, she's not reacting or barely even speaking, and she's gonna just take that guilty verdict. Thankfully, though, Phoenix has managed to get a bit of ground by by really picking apart the testimony of the witness, the security guard working on the ship that Isabella stowed away on. Now, previously I had to begin the video on the title screen because I realized, oh, the game's not letting me save here for some reason. Whatever, I'll just use a quick save and load the state later. This time, actually, when I went to load up the game, it didn't put me where I ended back up. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you, actually. I can do that, yeah. I'll load this up. So I'll show you. Yeah, there's a little recap, which is very nice, but I'll skip it. And it brought me here to this cross-examination? But I think we already did this. And so sure enough, I hit my quick load button and it brought me here. Yeah, this right here, this is where we left off. So I'm like, what the hell happened? Apparently I'm just gonna have to rely on my quick save and quick loading for this YouTube series. That kind of sucks, but the saves just don't work like they used to. And that's really annoying. So I guess we'll carry on then. Oh yeah, Maya just bonked him over the head with a steel bar. Nice. What are you doing, Maya? I was just checking if I could hit the back of your head while you were facing me. It doesn't seem doable, especially for someone as vertically challenged as me. How about you keep your dangerous little experiments inside that head of yours, Maya? I kind of like living, thanks. At least we've learned a couple of important things. First, that this witness is unreliable. And second, that the prosecution didn't investigate this case properly. If my gut feeling is right, there's much more to this case than meets the eye. Now's my chance. What should I do? Plead not guilty? Wait and see what happens? Well, I think waiting and see what happens was a bad idea. That just lets your opponents get their get their feet on the ground again. Plead not guilty. Your Honor. Oh, he's using the British spellings. I didn't notice. That's nice. It's because he's in England. He's using the fancy O's, fancy U's, rather. The defense asserts once more that the defendant, Isabella Cantabella, is innocent. What? This is a foolishness. And just who do you think you are, anyway? Waltzing in here with your ridiculous assumptions. Balderdash, I say. That's not how it was supposed to be. What did he just say? Not how it was supposed to be? In light of this new development, the court's opinion is that the defendant is in no way cleared of suspicion. However, the witness testimony has been proven unreliable. That's more like it. Looks like I'm starting to win over the judge. Don't forget that the defendant admits all charges. Surely her guilt is beyond doubt.
Objection!
The defendant is just a schoolgirl. You can't go on her confession alone. So far, we have established only one thing. That Mr. Smiles is neither an expert nor even a reliable witness.
Hold it!
In my long 6-month career at... Long? 6 months? As a security guard, never have my professionalism and expertise been questioned. Isn't 6 months barely past the probation period? You're saying Goldilocks there is innocent. In other words, that she didn't assault anyone. And that she didn't steal this toy? Isn't that so, Mr. Lawyer? Yes, at least, we have yet to see any proof that she tried to steal it. I got you there. Huh? What? Got me how? I have a decisive piece of evidence. The proof that that girl was trying to kidnap PC Badger. What? You do? Even Flinch is shocked. When I seized the girl at the crime scene, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. It says London on it. And what would that be? It would appear to be PC Badger's tag, Your Honor. Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it, this mascot does have some sort of an ill-fitting tag attached. What's this engraved on the tag? Is that an address? Oh, you mean there's an address written on there? It would appear to be Scotland Yard's and their telephone number. It is Scotland Yard's mascot, after all. Oh, yeah. This tag, it's been ripped from one of the PC Badger toys. Yes, sir. The suspect was caught in the act of nicking this very toy. The tag was ripped off during the fight. What? Then this tag is... What we have here is the decisive evidence that she was trying to steal the cargo. No way! I wasn't expecting evidence like that.
Objection!
Witness, I was never informed of such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it in to the police? Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor. I am an expert at what I do. And my expert advice to myself was that I'd better keep this as my secret weapon. So I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial. Well, in real life that's illegal. It's inadmissible. Should be, anyway. Unfortunately, we live in Clown World, so... Looks like Flinch and I are both in uncharted waters now. This tag is vital evidence. It will be added to the court record. Great. Clown World, honk honk. Defense? Mr. Wright, was it? Yes, Prosecutor Flinch. Your appearance in this court was a very hastily decided affair. That's true. That call from the Attorneys Association came out of nowhere. Perhaps, in all the confusion, the request from your client escaped your attention. Were you not instructed to accept the sentence proposed by the prosecution? Come to think of it, Miss Darklaw did say something about that before the trial. She's pleading guilty, so there's not much you need to do. I suggest you accept the punishment proposed by the prosecution. Well, that's a suggestion. That's what you were asked to do. You have convinced us all of your skill, so your good name will not suffer. Why not simply admit the defendant is guilty and call it a day,
What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Depending on your stance on this matter, the court may now pass the verdict.
My stance? That's something I don't need to think twice about. Continue the trial. The defense requests that the trial continue. What? The defense stands by its assertion that Espella Cantabella is not guilty. Very well, Mr. Wright. If that's your desire, then I, too, have a request to make. Your Honor.
Yes, Prosecutor Flinch?
The prosecution calls its second witness. Oh. Hey, wait a second, what about me? Come on, guys, don't forget about Johnny. Let me start over from the top, no detail omitted. I'll admit, between videos I completely forgot what his name was, so... You are already forgotten. I suggest you leave the witness stand and go back to witness... Sorry. Go back to witnessing your crimes on television. Yes. Yes, sir. Who will the second be?
I believe a break is in order. The court will now adjourn for a 15-minute break. Mr. Flinch, prepare your witness. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense has no objections. Looks like Flinch finally got serious about this case. And that means the real game starts now. No, I'm pretty sure we're still in the prologue. To be continued right now. Do you want to save? No. Phew. Glad the first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be one in a crime drama. He'd end up making it a comedy, though. Ooh, burn! I'd hate it if poor Espella was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get Espella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, hope that cheered Espella up a bit. Oh, Darklaw's here. Ah, I forgot about Darklaw. She's reading my newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case... My drive? This is not the time for your personal ambitions. I told you before, didn't I? That Espella is pleading guilty and that you should accept the proposed punishment. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But, Miss Darklaw, Espella could be innocent. Believe me, it will be in Espella's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. Best interest, huh? Okay, man, what if they're really just laying on the red herring thick? And what if Darklaw is actually a good person who genuinely wants to save Espella, and getting her a guilty verdict would protect her in some way? Maybe a prison is the one place Espella can live peacefully. I don't know. I'm still kind of leaning against siding with her, though. I'm sorry. She may be saying that she's guilty, but is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from picking at meaningless details, such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand. I'll do my best. It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espella. Yes, Miss Darklaw. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there trying to prove that Espella is innocent, and now she expects us to give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? But when you think about it, Darklaw's acting very strange. Her own pupils on trial? And she just stands around reading other people's newspapers? Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espella in that paper. Was she checking the soccer scores or something? Please, it's football over here, man. Article about jewel thieves. Oh yeah, the jewel thieves. Huh. The break is almost over. We'd better go back. Flinch looked really confident about this new witness. I'm Espella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what. Man, Maya's so cute.
The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready?
Of course, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring her in. Her.
Whoa, what a design. Witness, state your name and occupation.
My name is Olivia Raldente.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. You're a chef. Maybe she works at the school.
The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do that voice. Just saying that now.
A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters.
Please do not kiss the bladed instrument.
Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Okay, there's extra, and then there's whatever the hell she has going on. Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook on the freighter where the crime happened. Oh, not on the school. The freighter.
A cook? That's, interesting attire you are wearing, Miss Al Dente.
This is my work outfit. It gets very hot in the kitchen, you know.
It'll be a pleasant change after that chocoholic guard. He got up my nose.
Huh? Up his nose? Do Brits say that? Is that a thing? Nice to see the judges remaining impartial. Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies. Well, honestly, maybe that's not so much worse than, like, got under my skin. Yeah, that's like... That's a lot weirder, come to think of it. She found Espella. That would make her... the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with Espella. Oh. She was hit with the bar then. Well, we don't know that for sure yet, but... That is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder.
Then she is the victim of assault. Hit with a steel pipe, how cruel.
He didn't say anything when Phoenix was hit.
If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time. Yo!
She's using the potato skin like she's cutting paper snowflakes. That's really good. Reminds me of Dane Gustavia a lot. Maybe it's just the color, but...
I'd have shown her my exceptional cutting skills. Giggle. Nick, look at that! She's an expert potato peeler. You'd better watch out around her.
I'll keep that in mind.
Witness, we will now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold.
Certamente, gladly.
She has grooved into that beat only she can hear.
I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. And I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge. But she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes.
According to the medical report, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct?
Oh, that. It's covered by the chef hat, so you can't see it now. When I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop.
That sounds most terrible, Miss Al Dente.
I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little Piccola girl.
A what?
Olivia is much taller than Espella.
Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you.
I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters.
Huh?
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present
the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt.
This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe.
You know, hold on. That's, not the pipe. We don't have the pipe as evidence just yet, but I was gonna say, the pipe is symmetrical. It could just be a case of Espella grabbing the end of the pipe that was swung at her. Who knows, maybe Espella was defending herself and she, grabbed onto the pipe as it was swung at her.
As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant. They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant.
Well, that settles it. This is undoubtedly decisive evidence.
What? The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's? Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints.
This photograph shall be added to the evidence.
Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright? A further examination is but a waste of time. Nick, what do we do now? This evidence clearly points to Espella.
We're pleading that Espella's not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie.
Yeah, see, she's wearing gloves.
I think I nailed it. I've got to think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m.
Hold it!
You had to check the supplies at that late hour. It must be tough being a cook.
Know the saying, a thirsty sailor will drink the whole Mediterranean Sea? No. That's why I always need to make sure we're properly stocked up, sweetie.
Is she making those sayings up? I hope she is.
The incident occurred at 10:20 p.m. when Smiles was doing the rounds.
I see. Understood.
You know, I wonder if they modeled the judge's lower body. Does he have legs?
And what happened in the cargo hold?
And I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys.
Hold it!
And this bizarre toy she was holding was none other than PC Badger, was it? The girl held it in her tight grip like a seahawk holds its prey.
Are you certain it was the defendant?
It was kind of dark in that room, but I swear on Neptune it was her.
Why Neptune? I'm sure the Mediterraneans have their own sea gods, like maybe plural even. Okay, whatever.
The witness was engaged in a face-to-face fight with the defendant. Even if the room was poorly lit, there is no doubt she would recognize her assailant.
Espella was holding PC Badger. Did she intend to steal it? What did the witness do upon discovering the intruder?
She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe.
Hold it!
The defendant tried to escape.
She had nowhere to run, though, because she was at the far end of the room. I'm really good at catching chickens that try to run from the knife, so I caught her rapidamente. And when you caught her, things took a violent turn. Yeah, she was so small, you know, you wouldn't think she had that in her. There was a steel pipe propped against the wall right next to her.
Was it the pipe from this picture?
Yeah. She picked it up and held it in both hands. And then... She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge.
Hold it!
Your shirt was the defendant that swung the pipe at you.
Objection!
We know it was a defendant because her fingerprints were found on the weapon. As you can see, she held the pipe with both hands, just as the witness has stated.
Ispella's fingerprints. That's some hard evidence, but then again...
What is it, Nick?
There's something about those fingerprints.
Oh, it sounds like you're onto something, Nick.
Don't get too excited. It's just a hunch. These fingerprints, they don't look quite right to me for some reason. Yeah, that's why I paused just earlier. I was like, hold on. How would one hold this pipe in order to create prints like that? Ispella swung this pipe while holding it in both hands.
In any case, pray tell us what happened after the defendant took a swing at you. But she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes.
Hold it!
Do you remember the moment you were hit?
Sort of. It was dark, so I'm not exactly sure how it happened. See, I'm clever with my fingers, but not that good at dodging steel pipes, so I got it. Got hit, rather.
And you're positive there was no one else at the crime scene?
Yup. Oh, that cute guard suddenly walked in, sort of nonchalantly. Now that I think about it, the door suddenly opened and I turned towards it. That must be when I got hit. So it was his fault.
Huh?
Oh, I'll have my revenge. They say my special spice blend is too strong for human consumption. I don't think you will ever be able to taste chocolate afterwards. Giggle.
She says while smiling.
Scary. Johnny said he saw the moment Olivia was hit.
Yeah, and he didn't see anyone else in the room either.
Huh. So, when I came to, the guard boy had already captured that girl.
There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her testimony. Still.
Huh? Got any ideas, Nick?
This one piece of evidence has been on my mind. It's not something easy to see, but it feels out of place.
Oh, I didn't notice anything. I better take a second look at the court record.
I've got nothing concrete, just a hunch to go on, but should I present that? Okay. She fiercely swung the pipe at me. Let's see. We can look closer. It's like the left hand is holding... The left hand held the bottom and the right hand held the top? But also the grip's reversed each way? Yeah, something doesn't seem right. But hold on. About the tag, it was in Ispella's hand, but there's no mention of fingerprints on that. Wait, I can present profiles? Uh-oh. That's interesting, but okay. Hold on here, let me look at this. Yeah, like I thought, the pipe is symmetrical. You can see as much there. Yeah, I guess those brown things on their body are the tags. That one has a tag. Well, I need to show the pipe fingerprints, I think. Then she grabbed a pipe. I think the fingerprints, though I'm not sure, it's hard to tell for me. I think these fingerprints showed that she couldn't have swung it.
Objection!
You're claiming that the defendant swung the pipe at you. Well, that's impossible. Why do you say that, sweetie? The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe. However, there is a contradiction here. A contradiction? Impossible.
That is most interesting. Well then, the defense shall explain. What in the photo of the fingerprints contradicts the testimony?
I'm gonna go with position. It's the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor.
Oh, the position?
According to the witness's testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. Okay, see, this is why 3D models are so cool. Making pixel art is hard. Making good pixel art is a monumental feat. And so when it comes to Ace Attorney, you draw some strong poses and then that's it. But with 3D models, you can do a lot. Like this. Phoenix is up to bat. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so. That is precisely what she said. What she did. And then she struck from above. But here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that she would have left had she done just that.
What are you getting at, Mr. Wright?
Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe. In this situation, the fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers.
Indeed, there's no doubt about it.
Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe.
Goodness, the thumb, it's below the other fingers.
What? That's right. Miss Al Dente. What? What is it? Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around, which means something's not right with your testimony. Oh.
Order, what is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as decisive evidence. How come this contradiction was not brought to light before?
No! Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Oh man. I'm getting bad flashbacks to a juggler that we just met, but at least there's no chipmunks to be seen. Excuse me, Miss Al Dente?
know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato?
Ew, I hate sweet potatoes.
You use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use salt to make something taste sweeter.
I'm not following.
I remember it now. It was the other way around. Not as you'd expect it. I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. You'd normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small and the pipe is heavy. She held it the other way.
The other way?
Not like this. She held it in this way.
Objection!
But you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you.
I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia's sorry, okay?
How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if she was right in front of you?
Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way or another? You wouldn't call a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato, because it's still a sweet potato no matter what you add to it. The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright?
Well, is this where we talk about their heights?
So the defendant attacked the witness holding the pipe backhanded. It seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose.
Indeed it does, Your Honor. There was no problem with this evidence after all.
Does the defense agree?
If I agree there are no problems with this evidence, we'll be one step away from losing this case. There's gotta be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could Espella have hit Olivia holding the pipe backhanded? Well, I have no choice now, don't I?
Objection!
Well, Miss Al Dente, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now.
I don't really see why.
Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness.
It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim that there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony.
Correct, Your Honor. I won't know until I try.
The defense shall now present evidence to the court. The evidence contradicting the assertion that the defendant hit the witness holding the pipe backhanded is...
Okay, either we use this to say Espella can't hit the back of the head, or the medical report says hit with a long, blunt object, not a short, blunt object. Here we go.
Take that!
Ooh. Miss Al Dente, you previously testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault.
It's normal for signoritas to cover up things they don't want others to see.
Saucy. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella is, at the very least, shorter than you. I wonder if she's purposely slouching like this to make herself seem smaller.
I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine.
Let me ask you then, how did a girl shorter than you
holding a heavy pipe backhanded, managed to land a blow to the back of your head. I'd say it's impossible. The fingerprints on the weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely she would be able to hit Miss Al Dente's head like that.
Order! I will have order! What is the defense getting at?
Objection!
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible. Miss Cantabella's fingerprints were found on that pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon.
That is so. Does the defense have any comments?
I can't deny that. It's clear that Isabella did hold that pipe. She held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this. Hey, that pose! That's pretty on the nose. When she holds it like that, it looks as if...
Yeah. The court recognizes the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe. However, that doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection!
Nonsense! What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea.
Well, well then, the defense may elaborate on its idea.
What I say next will turn this trial around. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally, she held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head.
Stopped it?
With both hands? That's right, like this. Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim, desperately trying to defend herself. This cannot be. And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Al Dente. It was you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Order, order, order. If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned.
Be quiet, all of you? Wait, whoever said this is speaking with center alignment. Clearly they're the witch. Ooh, an eel! Was that a lamprey? No, lamprey have the weird mouths. You just don't quit, do you? You know, I really appreciate the eel striking different poses every time. A lousy lawyer like you should get the chop. How about I show you my knife up close? Is that a threat?
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Mr. Wright? The witness is the victim, not the assailant. There are no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Objection!
Look at the witness's outfit. She's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints.
Ah, you prickly sea urchin!
Objection!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
Objection!
The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check supplies.
You devious lawyer, slippery as an eel.
You know, eel is my favorite food. Like, legit, I love it in sushi. It's so good.
It was me because I had gloves on, as if it was only me wearing gloves. She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy, the guard. He was wearing gloves too.
The guard? Oh, was that the previous witness?
Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of the guard's uniform by regulation. See? That guard, Johnny? He was wearing gloves that night too.
Yeah, I know where this is going, and I already got you. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Since you're claiming that the assailant is the person who had gloves on, that would make the guard a suspect as well. Could Johnny be the culprit? It's impossible.
Johnny Smiles is not the culprit. Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that?
No, I didn't. However, it does seem plausible that the guard could have done it. He was wearing gloves, after all. I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor, and I have proof. You do?
Fascinating. Let's see this proof if you really have it. Please enlighten us as to why Smiles cannot be the culprit. Provide the proof.
Yeah, the chocolate fingerprints.
Take that!
Mr. Smiles is, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. There is no guarantee he would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves he did not wear gloves.
Wait, don't throw that filthy torch at me.
Will someone please wipe the chocolate off this evidence? No, Your Honor, this chocolate is the evidence.
What?
Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. That's why his flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit.
What? That's ridiculous. It's too silly.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense has merely pointed out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection!
That poor eel.
At the very least, Aspella Cantabella is not innocent. As corroborated by PC Badger, the toy that she attempted to steal.
Oh.
Oh.
What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Prosecutor Flinch, explain to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence.
This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night.
One of its legs would appear to be missing, the poor thing.
This mishap befell PC Badger as the witness and defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported the damage after the defendant's arrest.
So this is a stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella.
I see. The court would like to hear the witness's testimony regarding this evidence.
Witness, your testimony. Excuse me, witness, you have been asked to testify. Oh.
Wait, where is she keeping that eel?
I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all those accusations. I'm not used to this, to being called a liar. Ah, yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about that. It's all that slimy attorney's fault.
Why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board?
The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant.
Gladly. Oh, il nostro mare.
Huh?
I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it.
Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court.
Huh. I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off, though. But there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was hit, but I got the toy back at least.
Oh, I see. What a commendable attitude, going to such lengths to protect the cargo.
I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship.
It didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold.
These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. We transport them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go.
Didn't she call them bizarro toys earlier? And now suddenly they're cute?
And what about fingerprints on this toy?
It is a soft toy, after all, so no usable fingerprints were found.
Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence.
Neat.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Alright, I'll have to call it from here. It feels good to be back with the classic Ace Attorney formula. Now, we have yet to actually have like an investigation phase as Phoenix, but I quite imagine it'll go the same. After all, honestly, it's pretty much the same point and click as in the Professor Layton segment, wouldn't you say? Yeah, no, man, I continue to be impressed by this game. They're using 3D models to their full advantage, and yeah, it's just great. Just good work all around in this game. I'm just loving it so far. Oh, shoot, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. It slipped my mind. Oh crap, what was it? I was thinking about it earlier and I wanted to use it to like close out the video with. It was something important. Well, So if Phoenix is going to get Isabella declared innocent, I wonder what's going to happen next. Like, Phoenix has already been roped into this whole mess against his will, and he doesn't even know it yet. But what comes next? I can't imagine Dark Law would want Phoenix to be, like, involved in any way with what's going on with Isabella. I wonder what the call to action will be. Why will Phoenix try to solve the overarching mystery? Yeah, but you know what? Maybe he won't at first. Maybe he'll just part ways with Isabella and he'll come back to it some other way, through some other connection later on. And for that matter, I still have to wonder what's going on with Layton and Luke. They were sucked into a book, and the book was left right smack dab in the center of one of the most important landmarks in the entire city, so that's kind of weird. I hope everything's gonna go well with them. I wonder if we'll actually have playable segments inside the story. Wait, what's the proper name of the book? The Historia something. Magnifica? Significa? But yeah, either way, I feel like after pretty early on next video, we'll solve this court trial and the prologue will end and we'll see what happens from there. I'm excited for that, so hope you'll join me then. In the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.